the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, has received a less than warm welcome back after 17 years off the small screen following its premiere. The new series sees 3 of the 4 original leading ladies reuniting, with Sarah Jessica Parker, Kristen Davis, and Cynthia Nixon reprising their roles as Carrie, Charlotte York, and Miranda Hobbs. Yet UK reviews of the revival have branded it a misfire as it struggles to find its place in woke times, something it has been heavily criticised for over the years, due to its largely white cast and claims of gender and racial stereotyping and sex shaming. However, The Telegraph said in its review that the programme badly tackled trying to erase these issues in the first 2 episodes of the woke reboot, and gave the show a paltry 2 out of 5 stars. The opening scenes reference Samantha Jones' conjectural absence from the show, and the publication have noted her lack of sex-fueled jokes in the once raunchy show have left a gaping absence. According to her friends, the character moved to London and that's why she was MIA. In real life, however, the actress has publicly feuded with her co-stars for years and did not want to participate in the new show. The show's new title is a reflection of a grown-up SAT, as it draws focus to dealing with middle age, finding their places in a new age and ultimately mortality. However, this isn't necessarily what viewers signed up for. While the show lost 1 original cast member, it gained some new ones with Sarah Ramirez, Che Diaz, Nicole Laurie Parker, Lisa Todd Whitley, Karen Pittman, Drive, Nya Wallace, and Sarita Choudhury, Seema Patel. During one scene, Miranda trips herself up while addressing her new professor, a black woman with braided hair. However, The Telegraph argued that this scene didn't really pan out as hoped. The review read, "This all feels hugely awkward, because those of us who've watched the series from its beginning are clearly meant to identify with Miranda when she says, 'I think I was just so worried about saying the wrong thing in this climate.' Perhaps they're hoping to bag a younger audience, but why would anyone young want to watch the travails of 350-somethings? More videos 123 Watch video The and Just Like That." Cast poses at the series premiere Watch video You're Allowed to Speak Your Truth Hilaria Baldwin on using her voice Watch video 8 Topless Sierra flaunts her physique for the Balance Challenge Watch video Charlotte Crosby travels in style as she jets off to Dubai Watch video Miley Cyrus stuns in blue ahead of The Tonight Show hosting gig Watch video Kristen Davis and Cynthia Nixon chat The Late Willie Garson Watch video Machine Gun Kaylee talks vulnerability with Drew Barrymore Watch video Lionel Messi brushes off tackles and scores past his 3 sons Watch video Jacob Rees-Mogg jokes about Downing Street Christmas party Watch video Church girls adorable twirl and curtsy for Kate at Christmas service Watch video Woman accuses black man of taking phone before finding it in her bag Watch video Mom reveals an ultimate Christmas napkin trick The wokeness feels tacked on, as do the non-white characters. They've been brought in to answer criticism that Sex and the City was too white, but they will always be background noise to the 3 main stars, plus the others we already know well. Big, Steve and Harry are back as the husbands, while Anthony and Stanford are still here. The reviewer for The Guardian, Lucy Mangan, didn't mince their words when they branded the first 20 minutes of the reboot terrible due to Samantha's absence, jarring dialogue and a rushed catch-up of events, giving the show 3 out of 5 stars. They admitted that this may be forgivable, however the next test of faith is to do with addressing its past issues. The writer said, "The show starts to address all its past issues and the criticism it has amassed, like its reputation for being the whitest, after Friends, most blinkered show on 90s television, among audiences who weren't born when it first aired, and haul itself into the modern world." Referencing one of Miranda's exchanges with her professor, it said, "The onslaught of woke teachings lends the show a smugly self-congratulatory rather than ironically self-aware air. This does nothing to make it sing like the original, which, even if it was narrow and elite, knew its world inside out and could allow the comedy and the drama to arise in ways that felt effortless." However, in a reflective tone, the piece suggestions that these issues may be minor teething issues which have the potential to be ironed out later in the series. While many publications took issue with the first 2 episodes of the show, they did note that the dark twist which saw leading man Mr. Big die from a heart attack at the beginning of episode 1 was nicely done. The Times also discussed Samantha's absence from the hotly anticipated reveal, as they noted that the show struggled without her, giving the series 2 stars. The review by Carol Midgley read, "Carrie, Miranda and Charlotte gamely tried to fill the Samantha-shaped hole with lame stuff about masturbation, gender-neutral toilets and teenagers leaving used condoms on bedroom floors, but it felt as though they were going through the motions, as if their hearts weren't really in it. I feel sure Samantha would have said something witty, sharp and disgusting to Miranda's line, 'I stepped on my son's semen,' but, alas, nothing came. Instead there were many inclusivity themes as a lunge for relevance that only make you remember how funny and risky the UNPC Samantha could have made it." Despite the lack of blush-worthy moments from New York's favorite PR, The Times touched on how Big's heart attack and subsequent death was the moment the show needed to shock fans into feeling for these characters again. Branding it a wise move from writers, the critic expressed hope that the storyline will give the series some soul. Elsewhere, the Daily Star commented that the reboot was a turn-off, which left fans fearing that the show had lost its appeal 23 years after the original debuted. While the Daily Mail reviewer Liz Jones also finds fault with the slightly stilted, at times verging on a bad episode of Dynasty acting, predictable wokeness and far too many references to COVID and lockdown, she admits she initially just felt glad to have her friends back. Liz said, "But then, once it got over my initial excitement, just like seeing a long-lost friend at a party," as the late actor Willie Garson, who died in September, appeared in his final scenes, I actually shouted, "Oh, Stanford. I love you." It all got a little less yay. Some publications branded the exchange about Miranda's gray hair predictable. The Mail said that it was some of the best humor between the characters. However, not all of the jokes landed, according to the critic, who said, "Occasionally, the jokes seem a little too safe." Such as when Carrie was mugged at gunpoint, told to hand over a bag and retorts, "It's a baguette." Or Samantha, spotting a hunk in the desert, "Lawrence of my labia. They're certainly not the kind that make you snort vodka out of your nose." Spoiler alert, and just like that. Episode 1 and 2, Sex and the City girls face major heartache as we finally learn which main character dies. As they return with political correctness, explicit chat and epic fashion by Sierra Farmer, Sex and the City's eagerly anticipated reboot, and just like that. It screens on Thursday, with fans set to see major heartache when a main character dies, as well as a wholly new woke take on the series. The return comes 23 years after the original TV series debuted, and 11 years since the second movie, with Sarah Jessica Parker playing Carrie Bradshaw, Cynthia Nixon, starring as Miranda Hobbs, and Kristen Davis as Charlotte York, all returning without Kim Cattrall's Samantha Jones. While the show loses one original cast member, it gains 3 new ones with Sarah Ramirez, Che Diaz, Nicole Laurie Parker, Lisa Todd Whitley, Karen Pittman, Drive, Nya Wallace, and Sarita Choudhury, Seema Patel, joining the ladies. The first and second episodes are packed with glamour, sass, many nods to political correctness and sensitivity. However, we soon see Carrie left as widower, when her husband Mr. Big dies from a heart attack in the end of the first episode, while the second follows funeral plans and the final goodbye, and subtle nods to Samantha. In August, DailyMail.com broke the news that Big was the major character to pass away and also that Samantha had not died, and was in fact living in London, having broken ties with the rest of the girls. Episode 1. The first episode begins at fictional New York hotspot Clee, where Carrie is waiting with Charlotte and Miranda. "Remember when we legally had to stand 6 feet apart from one another?" Carrie asks, as Miranda says she misses it, as a crowd walks through them. They see old pal, Bitsy Von Muffling, Julie Halston, who wonders how they should greet each other, post-COVID. She asks where the fourth musketeer is, referring to Samantha Jones, can get troll, as Charlotte says she's no longer with us. Bitsy becomes quite sad, thinking Samantha had passed away, but Miranda adds she's not dead and Carrie confirms she's in London. More videos. 1, 2, 3. Watch video The And Just Like That. Cast poses at the series premiere. Watch video You're Allowed to Speak Your Truth. Hilaria Baldwin on using her voice. Watch video 8. Topless Sierra flaunts her physique for the balance challenge. Watch video Charlotte Crosby travels in style as she jets off to Dubai. Watch video Miley Cyrus stuns in blue ahead of the Tonight Show hosting gig. Watch video Kristen Davis and Cynthia Nixon chat. The late Willie Garson. Watch video Machine Gun Kelly talks vulnerability with Drew Barrymore. Watch video Lionel Messi brushes off tackles and scores past his 3 sons. Watch video Jacob Rees-Mogg jokes about Downing Street Christmas party. Watch video Church girls adorable twirl and curtsy for Kate at Christmas service. Watch video Woman accuses black man of taking phone before finding it in her bag. Watch video Mom reveals an ultimate Christmas napkin trick. Bitsy says that she just assumed anyone she hasn't seen in so long either died or gave up and moved to Palm Beach. Miranda added she moved to the UK for work, as Bitsy adds, sexy sirens in their 60s are still viable over there. Bitsy leaves and Carrie's table is finally called as the group walks into the restaurant. As they're looking over menus, Miranda says she stepped on one of her son Brady's condoms, adding now her floor is a minefield. Carrie quickly changes the subject, which surprises Miranda and Charlotte, but Carrie just says life is too short. They all joke about their ages and Charlotte says she misses Miranda's red hair. Carrie arrives at her and Big's apartment, dubbed Heaven of Fifth, where she locks lips with her husband and jokes about their fishmonger trying to oversell salmon. Big then jokes, "I remember when you used to keep sweaters in your oven." Getting flirtatious and joking about his age once again, Carrie replies, "I remember when your hair was black." The couple then discuss their dinner ritual of listening to records, as Carrie selects Todd Rundgren, "Hello It's Me" from 1972. She then asks, "Can we go to the Hamptons on Friday?" Charlotte wants me to go to Lily's recital. In the next scene, Miranda attempts to get a glass of wine and being rebuffed due to the time of day, before then heading to her law class in Columbia and begins an awkward conversation with Professor Drive. Nya Wallace about her being black. Karen Pittman plays the character and is described as a brilliant, challenging Columbia law professor, who is married to Andre, a successful musician, Leroy McLean. She first assumes that the professor is a man, leading to one of her classmates stating, "You jump to those pronouns pretty quick," before a panicked Miranda states, "I didn't expect you to have braids," and then locks into an awkward exchange about her being black. Following on from Miranda's embarrassment comes a red-faced Carrie. Her podcast appearance comes next as she chats to Che Diaz, a non-binary, they/them, stand-up comedian, and fellow guest Jackie Lee. Che opens the podcast, saying, "I am your host, a queer non-binary Mexican-Irish diva," before launching a discussion about masturbation. In the podcast recording, Jackie asks, "Why don't we see women jerking off on the subway?" Before stunned Carrie asks, "I hope that's a multiple choice questions," and then jokes about not doing anal sex. Carrie then gets awkward while she is asked about masturbation and then says her not since Barney's close to the embarrassment on her fellow co-stars. Her podcast boss Che is described as, "a big presence with a big heart whose outrageous sense of humor and progressive, human overview of gender roles has made them and their podcast very popular." More videos 1 2 3 Watch video The And Just Like That. Cast poses at the series premiere. Watch video You're Allowed to Speak Your Truth. Hilaria Baldwin on using her voice. Watch video 8 Topless Sierra flaunts her physique for the balance challenge. Watch video Charlotte Crosby travels in style as she jets off to Dubai. Watch video Miley Cyrus stuns in blue ahead of the Tonight Show hosting gig. Watch video Kristen Davis and Cynthia Nixon chat. The late Willie Garson. Watch video Machine Gun Kelly talks vulnerability with Drew Barrymore. Watch video Lionel Messi brushes off tackles and scores past his three sons. Watch video Church Girls adorable twirl and curtsy for Kate at Christmas service. Watch video Moment Lumberjack almost crushes himself while chopping tree. Watch video Prince William and Kate Middleton arrive at Christmas event. Watch video Woman accuses black man of taking phone before finding it in her bag as she is leaving the building. Che then approaches Carrie to ask about her appearance and Carrie gets awkward. In a bid to get her to be more saucy, Jackie points out, "Trolls will label you the uptight cis old married lady." Carrie replies, "I'm not comfortable with the more graphic content, it's just not me." She is continually criticized for not being more crass. Jackie tells her to step her PC up in the next scene and showing more romance. Big and Carrie are then in her original apartment when she asks him if he masturbates, to which Big says, "I feel like that's a trick question." She then asks to watch Big masturbate as he appears shocked before indulging his wife and using lubricant as Hess not 15, yet soon backs out and instead grabs Carrie for kisses and says, "Oh Carrie, I must have you." Carrie shoots to her other apartment and reaches for her iconic Manolos, which Big used to propose with. Big enjoys one of his cigars and they make their further plans to head to the Hamptons. Carrie decides to change the date of their departure, in a move reflected back on. We shoot to Charlotte's apartment, where she locks horns with her daughter Rose over wearing a dress to her recital, much to the teen's fury. As they agree on the dress, the scene shoots to Rose's punky take on the ensemble. Anthony is then shocked and disgusted at the ensemble before Rose heads in. Willie Garson Stanford then enters, in one of his last appearances before his real-life death earlier this year. Miranda then voices her worries about becoming a meme after her gaffes with her professor and says, "I guess I was so worried about saying the wrong thing in this climate." Carrie says, "It's funny you can't stop talking and I've been told I can't talk enough by my podcast boss." The chat happens while Carrie is manning the door in the men's toilets while Miranda uses the bathroom. More videos 1 2 3 Watch video The And Just Like That. cast poses at the series premiere. Watch video You're Allowed to Speak Your Truth. Hilaria Baldwin on using her voice. Watch video 8 Topless Sierra flaunts her physique for the balance challenge. Watch video Charlotte Crosby travels in style as she jets off to Dubai. Watch video Miley Cyrus stuns in blue ahead of The Tonight Show hosting gig. Watch video Kristen Davis and Cynthia Nixon chat the late Willie Garson. Watch video Machine Gun Kelly talks vulnerability with Drew Barrymore. Watch video Kate greets kids and welcomes guests at Westminster Christmas service. Watch video Jacob Rees-Mogg jokes about Downing Street Christmas party. Watch video Church girls adorable twirl and curtsy for Kate at Christmas service. Watch video Prince William and Kate Middleton arrive at Christmas event. Watch video Woman accuses black man of taking phone before finding it in her bag. We then see Lisa Todd Wexley, played by Nicole, who introduces Charlotte to her mother and calls Carrie her hero. Parker's Lisa Todd Wexley, a Park Avenue mother of 3 who also works as a documentarian, married to a successful hedge fund manager Herbert, Hamilton's Christopher Jackson. While the women squirm at Lisa's son's performance, Big hits the Peloton exercise bike at home and we then see Miranda's son Brady making out with his girlfriend in the recital, something Miranda tries to put a stop to. It's then Lily's turn to take to the stage as she performs an epic performance which shoots between the recital and Big's bike workout at home. As the music swells to epic proportions, Big is seen on his bike, working harder and harder before receiving a text and dropping his phone in the shower. As he reaches out to grab his phone, he is in great pain. Holding onto his arm, he then suffers a heart attack and is seen slumped next to the running shower. While viewers are uncertain of his fate, we shoot back to Carrie. An unwitting Carrie tries to grab a cab outside the recital and returns to her own apartment. She finds Big slumped on the floor. After a shocked moment, Carrie yelps, "John," and runs to try and help her husband while sobbing and holding his weakened body. Then leaving audiences' jaws on the floor, Carrie says, "And just like that, Big died." Episode 2 opens to Miranda and Steve listening to their neighbors having sex and appearing in a tense exchange before Carrie calls to share the news of her pain. Miranda arrives at Carrie's apartment to find her sobbing and coroners collecting the body. The scene shoots to Carrie dreaming about first meeting Big and a flashback to season 1 when we first saw the male lead. Miranda is staying with Carrie and comforts her in bed when she complains of a bad back. Carrie goes on her laptop to look at funeral homes before Charlotte is seen helping Carrie pick the funeral before Carrie says Big would hate the place they were choosing. Charlotte breaks down into floods of tears leading to Carrie comforting her. Charlotte fears the death was her fault as Carrie was at the recital during his death. She is comforted by Carrie who puts her in an Uber and said she wants to be alone. Miranda is then back for her law class where she continues to discuss her professor's identity. Charlotte is seen getting ready for the funeral and speaks her daughters through death. Death is the saddest part of life, it reminds us how much our loved ones mean to us. We shoot to Miranda and Steve getting ready and claiming he shouldn't have been on his Peloton. It wasn't the bike, Steve, he used it for over 1,000 rides. Miranda then says, "Death sucks," while comforting her husband before Brady joins them for a hug. Carrie sits in Big's wardrobe looking heartbroken before arriving at the funeral alongside Anthony and Stanford. She appears upset that there are flowers on the coffin, as Big had insisted he doesn't want flowers at his funeral. Carrie says she wanted the funeral to be perfect as they look at the flowers. They then said, "Those flowers are for Samantha." with all the women looking sad, in the first nod to Kim Cattrall's absence. Carrie speaks to Big's assistant Gloria, who lauds the late businessman. It is Miranda's turn to speak as she takes the stage and delivers the eulogy, saying, "How lucky we all are to have known this amazing man. How lucky to share dinners, deals and cigars with this one of a kind. How long it seems we have known him. How very long, and yet not near enough. How large he was in all of our lives. He will leave a big hole. How very sad, but for today let us remember how lucky." Miranda reveals Carrie penned the beautiful words before Big's brother took to the stand and said, "When I spoke to Big last week he said it was the happiest he had been in his life, so Carrie, I thank you for giving him that." More videos 1, 2, 3 Watch video The And Just Like That. Cast poses at the series premiere. Watch video You're Allowed to Speak Your Truth. Hilaria Baldwin on using her voice. Watch video 8 Topless Sierra flaunts her physique for the balance challenge. Watch video Charlotte Crosby travels in style as she jets off to Dubai. Watch video Miley Cyrus stuns in blue ahead of the Tonight Show hosting gig. Watch video Kristen Davis and Cynthia Nixon chat the late Willie Garson. Watch video Machine Gun Kelly talks vulnerability with Drew Barrymore. Watch video Lionel Messi brushes off tackles and scores past his 3 sons. Watch video Jacob Rees-Mogg jokes about Downing Street Christmas party. Watch video Woman accuses Black man of taking phone before finding it in her bag. Watch video Super rare giant phantom jelly with bizarre mouth arms is spotted. Watch video Mum reveals an ultimate Christmas napkin trick. A montage of Big's life then plays on the screen above his coffin while Gloria loudly sobs. Bitsy then appears to comfort Carrie and reveal that her husband Bobby passed away, and she is now with his pianist. Susan Sharon, Carrie's friend from Series 3, surprises Carrie and announces that she held a grudge against Carrie, much to the widower's shock. Miranda asks, "What happened between you two?" before Carrie says, "I hope you knew." Brady then smokes a bong with Che, leading to Miranda scolding Che, saying, "Has a minor, has 17, who the FK are you anyway?" She then squares up to the podcaster and tells her to back the FK up. She then scolds Brady, even saying, "Maybe I should kill myself?" Miranda is left in shock as Carrie introduces Che as her boss, asking, "Why didn't you tell me who you were?" before Che forgives her for the move. The duo soon get flirty, in a possible nod to Miranda's rumored lesbian life. Carrie, Miranda and Charlotte are seen in a lift to Carrie's apartment, where her home is filled with flowers and gifts, including a gift playing disco music. She then sits down with her phone and pens messages to Samantha, with the screen showing a slew of unread messages, with one calling her London lady and another reading, "I walked past La Perla today. Thought of you." Carrie then receives a delivery, containing Big's ashes. Stanford and Miranda sit with her drinking cocktails and look alarmed. Charlotte arrives and Carrie asks Stanford to hide to avoid Charlotte thinking she's not invited. She says, "You'll tell her I'm depressed, which I am." Charlotte reveals she has bought Carrie Vogues from around the world. As predicted, Charlotte bursts into tears and Carrie begs her not to make it about her and insists she is mad because she went to the recital. Carrie said, "I'm mad at myself because I should have gone to the Hamptons on Wednesday night like I wanted to," and then invites Charlotte in. She then lies awake in bed with Miranda while rain pours outside and says, "I'm never going to fall asleep," before asking for a sleeping tablet, which she is not allowed for another 5 hours. She said, "And just like that, I learned how long 5 hours can be." The final new character is Chowdhury's Seema Patel, described as a single, self-made powerhouse Manhattan real estate broker. Filming started in New York City back in June, with production wrapping just days ago, with filming also taking place in locales such as Paris. Photos taken from the Paris set caused quite the uproar among fans, as Parker's Carrie was spotted kissing a new character, played by John Tenney. Fans began wildly speculating about the marital status of Carrie and her longtime on-and-off lover Mr. Big, Chris Noth, who finally tied the knot at the end of the first Sex and the City movie. The trailers released for the new 10-episode series seem to indicate that they're still quite the happy couple, though given their on-and-off history, it's possible they could split at some time in the series. Still, while promoting the show Tuesday night on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Cynthia Nixon and Kristen Davis essentially confirmed that they filmed fake scenes to throw rabid fans off. "Yes, definitely," Davis exclaimed, while Nixon shook her head with a wry smile and said, "Absolutely not." Colbert pointed at Davis and said, "I believe you," and when Colbert asked again, Nixon shrugged and conceded, "It might be true." They didn't mention any specific scenes, so it's unclear if the Paris kissing scene with John Tenney was fake or not. Other returning stars include Mario Cantoni, Anthony Marantino, Evan Handler, Harry Goldblatt, David Eigenberg, Steve Brady, and the late Willie Garson, who filmed 3 episodes as Carrie's longtime friend Stanford Blatch, before passing away from pancreatic cancer in September at age 57. And Just Like That was created by Michael Patrick King, based on the books by Candace Bushnell. This is disrespect. SATC reboot and Just Like That is met with lukewarm early reaction as fans slam writers for devastating major death and blast lazy handling of Samantha's absence. Sex and the City's reboot and Just Like That was met with lukewarm initial reviews from fans following its early morning premiere on Thursday. The return comes 23 years after the original TV series debuted, and 11 years since the second movie, with Sarah Jessica Parker playing Carrie Bradshaw, Cynthia Nixon starring as Miranda Hobbs, and Kristen Davis as Charlotte York all returning. The biggest scandal of the return, however, was 2 major plot points: the absence of Kim Cattrall's character Samantha Jones and the death of Chris Noth's Mr. Big, which we witness in heartbreaking scenes at the end of episode 1. After the first 2 episodes aired, fans flooded social media to lament his passing while also insisting SATC without Samantha is terrible. The first and second episodes are packed with glamour, sass, many nods to political correctness and sensitivity, however we soon see Carrie left as widower. At the end of episode 1, Mr. Big is seen riding on his Peloton exercise bike before he dies from a heart attack and is found by a sobbing Carrie. Viewers swiftly took issue with the scenes, writing on Twitter, "So they killed Big on Sex and the City and now I want to flip tables." At #AndJustLikeThat writers: "I am devastated X. I will never recover him being so serious #AndJustLikeThat. All these years we see Carrie chasing that love and once she has that, she loses it again? What kind of disrespect is this to the fans? I just want a fun series to escape to. #AndJustLikeThat. I am heartbroken. No, I'm sorry, I do not accept the ending of #AndJustLikeThat. I do not accept." Fans also joked that Peloton exercise bikes would suffer due to the scenes, writing "And just like that, Peloton shares plummeted. Sex and the City might have just tanked Pelotone in the very first episode. Others took issue with Samantha's absence, after Kim refused to return to the show amid rumors of bad blood with Sarah. Her departure is quietly alluded to, as the girls reveal she is in London, while Carrie later shows that a number of her messages have been rejected from the PR guru. Fans wrote, "Put more respect on Samantha Jones. She was the most understanding friend in that group and would never go ghost like that." Lazy ass writers. #and just like that. Oh God. The way they're handling Samantha's absence is far too much of a parallel for the real-life situation, and it is cringe. #Anid Jusolika thought. Listening to the Samantha disrespect like #and just like that. In more general reviews, Twitter users wrote, "I tried watching the new Sex and the City reboot just like that, and honestly it was terrible without Samantha. I won't be wasting my time again #SATC. No offense, but I do not believe anyone who says the Sex and the City reboot is good. Sex and the City without Sam is just the city skeptical." Watching #and just like that. Never watched Sex and the City, but it must have been better than this, surely. While the show loses one original cast member, it gains 3 new ones with Sarah Ramirez, Che Diaz, Nicole Laurie Parker, Lisa Todd Whitley, Karen Pittman, Drive, Mia Wallace, and Sarita Choudhury, Seema Patel, joining the ladies. While promoting the show on Tuesday night on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Cynthia and Kristen essentially confirmed that they filmed fake scenes to throw rabid fans off. "Yes, definitely," Davis exclaimed, while Nixon shook her head with a wry smile and said, "Absolutely not." Colbert pointed at Davis and said, "I believe you," and when Colbert asked again, Nixon shrugged and conceded, "It might be true." Other returning stars include Mario Gantoni, Anthony Marantino, Evan Handler, Harry Goldblatt, David Eigenberg, Steve Brady, and the late Willie Garson, who filmed 3 episodes as Carrie's longtime friend Stanford Blatch, before passing away from pancreatic cancer in September at age 57. And Just Like That was created by Michael Patrick King, based on the books by Candice Bushell. HowDailyMail.com exclusively revealed the show's big plotlines, from Death to London Lady Sam. Episodes unveiling comes after Daily Mail. Com exclusively revealed news of the big death. A major Sex and the City character will be killed off in the first episode of the show's new comeback series, sources claim. A person close to the show teased that it is going to be a big death, prompting fears that the return of actor Chris Noth, who plays Carrie Bradshaw's husband Mr. Big, could be a short one. Other show insiders are speculating it could be the death of Samantha Jones, following the bitter feud between actresses Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker. The source did confirm that Carrie Bradshaw, played by Jessica Parker, will not die in episode 1. Only senior cast and crew have been made aware of the character kill-off, and are sworn to secrecy. Executive producer Sarah Jessica Parker wants to shake up audiences from the get-go to make them realize this is a different-paced show from the previous one, where anything can happen and anyone can go. Just like life, the source said. The insider says that the shock death in the show will lead column writer turned podcaster Bradshaw to reunite with characters with whom she has had rocky relations during the TV series. Jessica Parker has rejoined Cynthia Nixon and Kristen Davis, reuniting the girl gang in the last few weeks for filming around locations in New York. Other show insiders are speculating it could be the death of Samantha Jones, following the bitter feud between Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker. The source said, "This is all top secret at the moment, because production has just started. But in the first episode fans will be served up a jaw-dropping storyline where one of the major names on the show will die." Those in the know are calling it a big death, which obviously has everyone leaping to the conclusion that Mr. Big will be no more. But we have been implored not to say anything or divulge any other info, because HBO wants this to be one of their huge promotional points for the launch. Obviously Samantha Jones is a clear candidate for the chop too, given Sarah and Kim's ongoing war. Only the leading stars and show executives are aware of this presently and are desperate to keep a lid on it, a coffin lid. The source asked for anonymity to avoid reprisals from bosses, but added that they believe the tantalizing information will only excite fans more about what drama is in store for them next year. "From what we have read so far, there are plenty of twists and turns ahead," they said. In May, HBO and show creator Michael Patrick King confirmed Mr. Big will be back, but did not specify for how long. Photos of Noth, 66, on set in New York emerged on Monday. He was filming for the reboot, titled And Just Like That, which will be shown on HBO Max. Big will return with John Corbett and David Eigenberg, who played Aiden and Steve, respectively, for the iconic revival. "I'm thrilled to be working with Chris again on And Just Like That," executive producer Michael Patrick King in a statement in May. "How could we ever do a new chapter of the Sex and the City story without our Mr. Big?" The Monday shoot saw Jessica Parker, dressed as Bradshaw, and North, as Mr. Big, rehearsing lines and reading scripts. Onlookers claim that Parker, 56, and North appeared unhappy as they worked on the scene. In recent weeks, news broke that their characters are divorcing in one of the comeback series' plot twists. North, in his character's trademark suit, was not wearing Big's wedding band. In a leaked script passed to Page 6 for the forthcoming series, Carrie reveals while dining with BFFs Stanford Blatch, played by Willie Garson, Miranda Hobbs, Cynthia Nixon, and Charlotte York Goldenblatt, Kristen Davis, that she isn't in a good place. HBO Max's press release detailed that the show will navigate the even more complicated reality of life and friendship in their 50s. Fans first got hooked on the Darren Star-created series over 6 seasons, from 1998 to 2004, before 2 feature films followed in 2008 and 2010. The first movie made $415 million in 2008, its sequel fared less well but still earned $288 million. A third planned movie failed to happen amid the growing rifts fueled by Cattrall with SJP. Exclusive, that's where Samantha Jones is. Sex and the City reboot sees Kim Cattrall's character move to London, where she's thriving. Back in August, everyone was asking, where is Samantha Jones? After Daily Mail.com revealed that Kim Cattrall's character has not been killed off of the Sex and the City reboot, insiders now tell us that they've moved Samantha Jones to London. "We couldn't have Samantha roaming around New York City and not have the other women, Charlotte and Miranda, not interacting with her. It just wouldn't have made sense," show sources tell Daily Mail.com. Sending her to Los Angeles wasn't an option, as we'd done that in the first movie, so having her character based in London really was the perfect way to keep her alive and explain her absence. viewers will learn that she is thriving in England even though she has fallen out with Carrie. The insider revealed that at the end of the season Carrie will make a grand gesture to get Samantha back. Carrie is the one who has the tough time without Samantha, and by the end of it, just like that, you will see Carrie extend the olive branch and try and rekindle the friendship, they said. Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker famously had a falling out, and Cattrall refused to join the reboot with her castmates. DailyMail.com previously revealed that Samantha's absence from the series is explained as having a falling out with Parker's character Carrie Bradshaw. In the words of Oscar Wilde, "Life imitates art," they said. Now sources tell us, "We have high hopes that by the time we begin filming the second season, Kim will have joined the show and Samantha Jones can make a triumphant return to the Big Apple. We want Kim back. She was missed on set. We all understand why she feels the way she does. We get it. We just want her to come back for future seasons." The source said the reboot has been a special project to film and predict it can go on for many years, and would love for Kim to be a part of it. Samantha Jones is one of television's all-time much-loved characters, and Kim is a phenomenal actress who brings her to life perfectly. She needs to come home, if not for us, but for the fans that adore her. The insiders said the writers have left the plot open for Cattrall's return. Will announce eventually that the show will have a second season. This isn't a one-off, this will be a series, they said. It will be quite a while between the first and second series, as Sarah Jessica Parker has a busy schedule and we have a lot of work to do to get Kim Cattrall back.